Shall we begin? Let's begin now.
Right, hello, whiteboard, white everything, a bit of paper to kick off with. Now, as you know, Joe sent me them fantastic bricks a few days ago, and it sort of like made me inspired me to go back to doing some more work on my road to the Rhine. Now, I'm concentrating on the bridge and a little bit of drawing now. We have, if the bridge was there, it would be like 4 arches, yeah, which then the road would sit on top of the 4 arches, like so. Now, if these were destroyed, if they were destroyed by demolition, they would have just blown out the keystones here on each of these arches, which then would have brought this section here out. It would have they wouldn't have needed much explosive. Once that keystone had gone, that would have collapsed. Now, I've got 4 arches because that's the way I worked it out for the diorama. I've got 4 arches going across. So what I'm intending to do is to make a mould up so I can actually cast this section here, this bit here. Now if I make a mould to cast that bit, I can cast the 1, 2, 3, cast a 4th one, and then cut that 4th one in half, and that half will make this side and this half will make this side. So what I'm intending to do is, I've got some 1mm styrene, is to actually form up, it's a bit rough, something like this out of styrene. So I can actually cast each of these sections totally separately, and then I can use this to actually glue my bricks on, and that's what I intend to do. Look, I'll draw some little bricks in there for you. So we'll do the archways going round, and then I can finish them off jagged here. I ain't quite sure about the top. I might just do this in plaster of Paris because it's going to be easier to, I can chip it away and make it look like it's collapsed. So that is my plan, and I will stop the video in a minute because I shall get on with what I am doing. I have one sheet here at the moment. This is 0.8mm. I'm going to use that because that's reasonably flexible but reasonably strong, and I have a piece of 1mm. The 1mm I'm going to use to do either end. Now you're probably going to say that's a waste of styrene to make a mould up, but I was going to use styrene anyway to actually build these bits with, and I think this is going to be a more cheaper and economical way of doing it. So I'm going to stop the video because I'm going to need to be concentrating on how I'm going to work this out, but I will come back and let you see how far I've got. Well, welcome back to another bit. As you can see, I've got some of Joe's fantastic bricks here. What I'm trying to work out is for the arches. Now, I need to make this mould slightly smaller than the brick coursing. So I've worked it out, it's going to be 4.5 bricks wide, which I have checked up on. That is about right for one of these bridges. 4.5 bricks wide, so it leaves me my bonding up for the arch. So I'll actually be taking that one out, closing the gap up, and that then will be the size that I'm going to cast my bridge supports. So this is the 1mm styrene. That 1mm styrene, I'll probably finish it about here somewhere on the arch, just about there. So I'll cut this piece out. I know it seems a bit of a silly thing to do right in the middle there, but it's the only way I could actually get my formers done right, and hey ho, I can still get 2 out of this bit anyway, so I'm quite happy with that. So that's as far as I've got so far. I'll come back in a little while and we'll do another little bit. Right, I've cut me two squares. That is the first one. This is going to be my template. This is the 2 sides of the arch, and this is the top of the road. So I'll cut these out. I'll make a template of that one onto this one, so I've got 2 exactly the same, and then I shall endeavour to cut some more plastic to actually curve around this. So I shall be back in a second. Right, I've created my 2 ends of equal size, as you can see, and now what I need to do is actually get this piece of 0.8 to flex around this. So what I think I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to give it a little bit of heat treatment, probably some hot water, cut it to size, lay it in some hot water, and maybe just use the wife's rolling pin just to get that curved, because if not, if I don't get some sort of curve into it, there's going to be a lot of pressure along this inside joint, and that's what might make the mould go pop. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut this bit down. I'm going to do a bit of heat treatment on it with some hot water, and then I shall return and we'll go on to the next stage. Well, what I've done is I've constructed my mould. As you can see, it's quite flexy. Now on the base, I've just glued 2 pieces of wood either side just to straighten this out, because it all pulls in. So I didn't sort of do any video in it, because the simple reason was I ended up getting stuck to it, trying to hold these bits in here, keeping pressure on them with my fingers while the super glue dried. I ended up sticking my fingers to it, so I didn't bother. But the next step is that now I've got it to that, is that you can see that this is got a curve in it. That's the reason why I stuck bits of wood at the bottom here, because that also had a curve that curved in. So gluing these 2 bits of wood have put it all back nice and square. I've already cut some other bits of wood. These bits will go in like so in a very few minutes, like that, and that will be glued down, and that will bring that all back to being square again, and that will be my mould complete. It hasn't got a bottom on it because I'm going to put a removable bottom on, so when the plaster of Paris is dry, at least I can take this off and apply a little bit of pressure, because I want me to get to the size of the mould to tap it, so I better apply a little bit of pressure to actually push it out. Well, I'll come back and I'll show you when I'm actually making them. So that's this bit over and done with. Welcome back, and I lied on the last clip. I said I will be showing you how I made them. I've already made them, but I will run through what I did. I made a temporary bottom using some silicone and some cling film, which goes on the bottom like so, as you can see. And now I've broken my mould, but I'm glad that I've already made them. And put the pieces of wood in the side, like I said, to strengthen this edge up. And then all I did, I coated them with some Vaseline, very liberal, very lightly, just so I could actually get them out of the mould. And I used standard filler, and they came out alright, as I will show you. Right, there's one. There's two. Well, it's marked up as three. There's another one. And end piece, which will fall over because there's nothing there to hold it up. And then the other end. So there we go. I've formed them all up. I used polystyrene in the centre, just to keep them light, and I used standard filler. They're actually sat on a little piece of board. The simple reason is I need to make sure that they sat level, and also it's easier to position them and get an idea for the curves, which they do roughly match up, which I'm not going to lose any sleep over. But this bit is generally just for so I can get my first course of bricks all the way round, and then I can start building my arches up. And also it's going to be easier for me to work on, because once I get that course of bricks on, I can lay them this way and I can work along the inside here up to the top, and I've got something to put each course on against, so it should work all right. So that's as far as I've got. I think I should call it quits on this update. I shall put this update out because I shall be now start getting the brickwork done. So thank you for watching this part of the update, and we'll see you on the next bit.